If you think the 48-team expansion saved the world's biggest football giants from an early disaster, the mathematics of the Pro Football Index will absolutely shatter your reality. The computers have run millions of match simulations for the 2026 FIFA World Cup, and the data has spit out a terrifying truth. One historical heavyweight has been handed a near-impossible pathway with a win probability so low it might mean a historic group stage exit, while another massive favorite has been gifted a statistical joke of a group that practically walks them into the round of 32. This is no longer just about standard FIFA rankings or historical reputations. The analytic index models team performance, underlying tactical advantages, and squad depth to definitively rank all 12 groups from the absolute groups of death to the total cakewalks. Stick around because the data reveals a massive statistical anomaly in the middle groups that completely flips everything you think you know about who survives this tournament. Let us start directly with the terrifying pinnacle of the analytics, the single hardest group in the entire 2026 World Cup according to the Pro Football Index, Group 1. The index rating for this group is off the charts because it features an absolute tactical nightmare. You have France, a team boasting one of the highest squad values and win probabilities in international football, drawn against Senegal, the absolute elite of African football, and Norway. Think about the sheer absurdity of this. You have Kylian Mbappe and Erling Haaland colliding in the exact same group, with Iraq rounding out a pool where every single blade of grass will be fiercely contested. The model shows that Norway's high index rating, driven by elite individual metric weights, elevates Group 1's average difficulty level past the traditional threshold. If France experiences even a slight tactical slip-up, or if Senegal exposes their defensive transition phases, the simulation numbers warn that a giant could fall early. The data proves Group 1 is a meat grinder where no team has a clear tactical advantage, making it the premier group of death. But if you think Group 1 is brutal, wait until you see the sheer chaos hiding in Group F, which the Pro Football Index ranks as a highly volatile top-tier statistical warzone. This group features the Netherlands, Japan, Sweden, and Tunisia. Look at the data profiles here. Japan holds an incredibly high historical win probability against non-European opposition and thrives on quick attacking transitions, while Sweden brings elite physical metrics and rigid defensive organization. The computer models indicate that the gap between the highest-rated team, the Netherlands, and the third-seeded Sweden is the narrowest margin in any of the 12 groups. This means the win probability is distributed almost evenly across the top 3 spots, creating a complete tactical stalemate. Tunisia is no pushover either, known for breaking up play and lowering the expected goals of their opponents. The index suggests that Group F is the most unpredictable group in the entire tournament, meaning any minor injury or red card shifts the round of 32 qualification probability completely on its head. The statistical brutality does not stop there, because Group C emerges as another absolute nightmare, according to the index ratings. We are looking at Brazil, Morocco, Scotland, and while casual fans might look at Brazil and assume an easy ride, the analytical model focuses heavily on Morocco's historic defensive data and their elite ability to neutralize high-pressing structures. Scotland enters the equation with incredible physical metrics and high efficiency from set-piece situations, which historical stats show can completely derail South American defensive lines. The Pro Football Index gives Brazil the edge in raw squad depth, but their overall group stage win probability is significantly suppressed because the model accounts for the high-intensity defensive pressures of both Morocco and Scotland. It is a group where Brazil will have to expend massive amounts of physical energy just to secure the top spot, leaving them potentially vulnerable as they progress into the knockout phases. But what if the real story of the Pro Football Index isn't just the groups of death, but the massive tactical traps waiting in the mid-tier groups? Take a look at Group L, featuring England, Croatia, Ghana, and Panama. On paper, English fans are celebrating, but the index ratings identify this as a classic statistical illusion. Croatia's tournament data demonstrates an unprecedented ability to control game tempo and outperform their expected goals metrics in high-pressure environments. Ghana brings a highly athletic, unpredictable counter-attacking structure that can catch top-heavy teams completely off guard. While England holds the highest index rating in the group, their probability of sweeping all 9 points is surprisingly low because the model factors in Croatia's historical resilience. The index warns that if England fails to secure a dominant victory in their opening match, the Group L standings will devolve into complete mathematical chaos. Speaking of statistical illusions, we have to talk about the co-hosts. Starting with Group D, where the United States is paired with Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. The index rates this group as an incredibly balanced, high-friction environment. The United States enjoys the home field data advantage, which slightly skews their initial win probability upward, but the structural metrics of Turkey and Paraguay create a massive roadblock. Turkey possesses a high-ceiling technical midfield that can dominate possession statistics, while Australia's high-pressing, physical style is specifically designed to disrupt fluid attacking play. The index simulation shows that Group D has the highest probability of drawing matches, meaning qualification could come down to a razor-thin goal difference margin. But if Group D is a battle of margins, wait until you see the fascinating data anomaly over in Group A with the other co-hosts, Mexico. They are grouped with South Africa, South Korea, and Czechia. The Pro Football Index highlights this as one of the most balanced groups in terms of raw index ratings, but for all the wrong reasons. There is no clear, elite top 5 global superpower here, which means the tactical advantage swings wildly depending on match day setups. South Korea's incredible work rate and transition speed give them a highly favorable statistical matchup against Mexico's defensive line, while Czechia brings a disciplined European structural block. The model indicates that Group A has a massive variance, meaning Mexico could easily win the group or finish dead last, depending entirely on how they handle the intense counterpressing of South Korea. Now, let us completely flip the script and look at the absolute opposite side of the mathematical spectrum, the weakest groups where the elite giants of world football are laughing all the way to the bank. The absolute lowest rated group in the entire 2026 World Cup, according to the Pro Football Index, is Group E. This group features Germany, Curacao, Côte d'Ivoire, and Ecuador. The average index rating here is staggeringly low, primarily because Curacao enters as a massive statistical underdog with a low historical weight in major tournaments. While Ecuador and Côte d'Ivoire are solid, competitive nations, Germany's squad depth and win probability metrics completely swamp the rest of the field. The index gives Germany an overwhelming percentage chance of progressing, projecting them to comfortably rotate their squad and preserve energy for the later stages. It is an absolute cakewalk that shields the Germans from any real early tournament jeopardy. Similarly, look at the fortune handed to Portugal and Colombia over in Group K, alongside Uzbekistan and the Intercontinental Playoff winner. The Pro Football Index establishes a massive, unbridgeable chasm between the top 2 teams and the bottom 2. Portugal and Colombia hold dominant win probabilities in almost every single match simulation run by the computer. Uzbekistan has shown impressive structural discipline in regional metrics, but the sheer individual quality and tactical advantages possessed by the Portuguese and Colombian squads mean their progression likelihood is near certain. The index indicates that the match between Portugal and Colombia is the only real competitive fixture in the group, essentially turning the rest of the group stage schedule into a glorified warm-up for the knockout rounds. Then we have the defending champions in Group J: Argentina, Algeria, Austria, and Jordan. The Pro Football Index treats Argentina as an absolute statistical juggernaut, boasting a win probability that dwarfs the combined metrics of their opponents. While Austria presents a well-coached system under intensive pressing metrics, and Algeria brings erratic but explosive attacking flair, the model finds virtually zero scenarios where Argentina fails to qualify. Jordan's low index rating brings the group average down significantly, making Group J a highly comfortable environment for Lionel Messi's squad to establish their rhythm, fine-tune their tactical phases, and comfortably secure a top 2 seed without breaking a sweat. We see a very similar mathematical pattern in Group G, which features Belgium, Egypt, Iran, and New Zealand. Even with Belgium's golden generation transitioning out, their baseline index rating remains incredibly high due to domestic league metrics and squad depth. Egypt relies heavily on specific individual attacking metrics, while Iran boasts strong defensive solidity but lacks the transitional data to consistently hurt European opposition. New Zealand enters with the lowest index rating in the group, meaning Belgium and Egypt have an incredibly clear mathematical pathway. The index simulation projects a highly straightforward progression script here, with very low tactical variance and almost zero chance of a catastrophic upset. Finally, we look at Group H with Spain, Cape Verde, Saudi Arabia, and Uruguay. The Pro Football Index rates Spain and Uruguay as absolute locks to dominate the possession and expected goals metrics against Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia, while Uruguay versus Spain will be a tactical masterclass of intense pressing versus fluid positional play. The remaining fixtures are heavily weighted toward comfortable victories for the two powerhouses. The data suggests that the lower-seeded teams simply do not possess the structural metrics required to break down the defensive blocks of Spain or Uruguay, making Group H one of the most top-heavy, predictable sections in the entire 48-team tournament structure. The expansion to 48 teams was supposed to create absolute parity, but the Pro Football Index proves it has actually widened the gap between the hyper-prepared elites and the vulnerable nations caught in the groups of death. The mathematical realities of Group 1 and Group F are going to push teams to their absolute limits, while the giants in Group E and Group J can practically coast through the opening weeks. This entire tournament is shaping up to be a chaotic, data-driven war where traditional reputations mean absolutely nothing. Do you agree with the Pro Football Index? Or is your country being massively disrespected by the computer models? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let me know who you think is trapped in the real group of death, and let the debate begin.